markets is the lifeline of this realm. Let me explain. So I've been telling y'all for the longest, 2025 is the last year of this reality. And I always mention the only warning we will get before any of the events start is the market crash. That will set off all the executive orders that I mentioned in the Trump's True Purpose video. As I always said, they have to crash all the markets, then place it back into crypto because of the corporate fraud. All the other markets, including the stock market, will cease to exist afterwards, meaning only crypto will exist. So stop listening to people that's telling you to buy the dip. Oh, don't get mad when that thing drop it low on you for real. You see, the reason they have to crash all the markets is because that's where these people been stealing and holding our wealth hostage at, like it's a safe. So imagine the system reset, but these people still have their wealth. How would it be fair if there's people that have $1 million to invest versus other people that only got $1,000 to invest? A 10% move for one will get them 100,000, and a 10% move for the other will get them just $100, bruh. Do you see why it makes literally no sense to do any investments unless you have wealth? And we all know there's a group of people that has been oppressed, so no matter the situation, it won't change. Versus someone that has already been benefiting from their system. There would be no point of a reset if the same conditions exist. Now let me show y'all why I know they have to crash the markets. Now y'all need to watch these videos right here for a deeper breakdown of what I'm about to say. Trump True Purpose, Funny Money, and History Repeating Itself, War of the Worlds. But to keep it short, they already done this one time before, back during the Bush and Obama era, the 2008 market crash. And guess what started the next year? Bitcoin, because they transferred the funds out the stock market and then placed it into Bitcoin in order for it to become its own independent market, another heartbeat, a lifeline, to gain traction and the belief of the people as a collective, just like they did those debt notes we call money, when in all reality it's worthless, but our belief is what's keeping it alive. And like I always say, this is a part of what they've been using to manifest their own realities, because our energy is tied to this system. Also, I know how to read these charts. I used to make YouTube videos teaching people how to do so. But obviously, I don't have enough time to do it anymore because I'm making videos here. So I made a few long-term projection videos, right? Which is still valid to this day. And I explain how the markets have to crash. So check it. This chart starts back in 1871. There's a pattern that the algorithm spits out on all time frames. This is what the day and swing traders use on the shorter time frames to get in and get out. Once you get to a certain position, you see what I'm talking about, you understand what they actually do and why they don't actually ever lose money. Overall, that is. But on this chart, you can see where I have the pattern starting around the 1920s, which is the World War I era, which really means the war of different worlds. This is why they're creating different realities through deception. We never won the war because we are still in it today. But it's all come to an end. That's why everything is overly inflated. Because it's all a Ponzi scheme using our trust accounts, which is our social security numbers. We are the stocks and bonds. So on this pattern, it's been literally on its last leg. That's why it's been at all-time highs. Because it literally has to nosedive at any point of time. And as I mentioned earlier, once that happens, it's not going to ever come back. I already know people gonna ask what crypto to buy. And I do know what I would actually buy, because obviously I used to make the videos and I've seen all these altcoins come out, so I know what's real and what's not. I know what companies are actually there in the stock market and they already have their own companies under a crypto name, and you wouldn't know unless you read the white papers. You gotta do your own research on that. But I do know a lot of things. That's how I know it's a whole nother world they're trying to create. But you don't want to be in the world. You want to be maybe a part of it because you can leave and come in and out. You don't want to be of it, if that makes sense to you. Just imagine us having a card versus you having a chip. The card, you got a choice to go in and out. If you got that chip, you in forever. So there will be no point of buying anything before the actual reset, because they still have to create an equal playing field before they fully roll in the new system. And obviously we see this with Trump, Elon, and Doge is doing, making it known to the public of what's going on, even though people like me been telling y'all for years anyways. So what I'm trying to say is, stop trying to get financially ready in a system you don't know how it specifically operates for you. With a frequency quantum system, you need to be spiritually ready for a new reality, because this is beyond our mental. This is something you physically can't prepare for in the flesh. What's happening now is a spiritual awakening that people are being forced to take, or they will fall into the underworld. You see how I can be cool, calm, and collected when I talk about things like this, right? Versus the people that feel nothing but fear. That is a difference of frequency and a big issue. This is why they have to slowly wake us up like they've been doing. I mean, think about it. We had 2 separate incidents in the last 2 years that we literally seen aliens, extraterrestrials, it's on camera, or we seen like hundreds of people seeing it. You know, like the Miami Mall accident and all the drones, quote unquote, the spirits, the orbs. I mean, it's crazy, but people act like that never happened. Hell, they still think black people came from Africa. So there has to be an event that will change everything and force everyone to accept everything was a lie, and force them to move forward if their hearts can take the truth, accountability, and the change of frequency. Unlearn the old and learn the new correct way on how things are truly supposed to work. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Peace.